so millions of people could actually receive $300 monthly from the federal child tax credit permanently.
As the chair of the Senate Budget Committee, Senator Sanders has shepherded through a legislative program that, when passed, will transform the lives of tens of millions of working class people across this country.
Sherrod Brown, the senator, wants to make permanent an expanded child tax credit that's helped lift millions of people out of poverty. The Ohio Democrat has been talking to Republicans, including Mitt Romney, about how to do this. During the 2021 tax year, the American Rescue Plan adopted last March gave eligible parents $300 per month for each child 6 and under, and $250 for each child ages 6 to 17, including children who turned age 17 in 2021. From July until December, the IRS sent advance payments on the credit to give parents on the 15th of each month. That's how taxpayers...
If you love America, and I've all, come from the Senate, every politician there, how much they love America. They got the big American flags. If you love America, you love the workers. And if you love American workers, you don't ship their jobs.
Wouldn't have to wait until their filing taxes are collected. Until filing their taxes to collect. Senator Brown, everybody, has said that sending checks to parents reduced the child poverty rate by 40% nationally. He tried to include a permanent version of the credit in the Build Back Better, but that stalled in Congress last year. So everybody, do you think that President Biden will get the job done this time and send out more stimulus payments? Tell me what you think in the comments down below. Breaking news with the fourth stimulus check, Social Security Benefits, SSI, and SSDI. Continue watching this video if you want to find out the latest stimulus check information. So everybody, the White House released statistics this week that estimated the American Rescue Plan and the child tax credit benefited millions of children and families. Nationally, it estimated that nearly 40 million families with roughly 65 million children will benefit from the enhanced child tax credit under the American Rescue Plan, and that's the most ever. Senator Brown said he and Romney both believe that the estimated American Rescue Plan's child tax credit benefited millions of families and children. Senator Brown and Mitt Romney both believe it's important to subsidize families, but he cautioned the work requirements, and Romney is discussing that as a condition for receiving the credit, and it shouldn't be imposed on grandparents, he said, who have stepped in to raise kids whose parents might be incapacitated by problems. So in a press call, Brown said he's sure that Congress will extend the child tax credit. Brown said it's going to happen, and I hope it's going to happen in a bipartisan way. My interest is getting it done for over 1 million Ohio families. Senator Rob Portman, and also another Ohio Republican, has also said he's open to expanding the child tax credit as a way to help families that are trying to juggle work responsibilities and child care obligations, though he expressed concern about the long-term financial ramifications of expanding and extending the child tax credit, which cost the government $185 billion for a single year. So making it permanent, everybody, would make it cost far more than that, he said. During his State of the Union address, President Biden urged the extension of the credit, so no one has to raise a family in poverty. And there is a House Democrat proposal to reform Social Security, and it's being introduced by Congress. The new version of this bill is dubbed the Social Security 2100. It's now aimed at drawing more support from President Biden and some Republicans. The new bill combines Biden's proposals with House Ways and Means initiatives to expand and enhance Social Security benefits. So the Social Security 2100 Act aims to tie annual COLA adjustments to the Consumer Price Index for the elderly, or CPIE. CNBC also noted that this may better reflect senior expenses. However, some people say that the CPIE is an experimental index, and according to CNBC, the index is not an exact match to the Social Security beneficiary population, and it hasn't been fully studied. So, as inflation continues to rise, I think it's the best idea for President Biden to definitely send out more stimulus checks and increase Social Security benefits. If you guys agree with me, tell me in the comments down below.
Woman from Texas is recognized.
I yield to the gentleman from Idaho, the ranking member of the Energy and Water Subcommittee.
The gentleman from Idaho is recognized.
I thank the gentlewoman for yielding time. Mr. Speaker, today I rise in support of the fiscal year 2022 Omnibus Appropriations Bill, and particularly the Energy and Water Development and Related Agencies Appropriation Act. As ranking member of the subcommittee, I say to my colleagues, it is a strong bill and deserves bipartisan support. There are, of course, things I would have done differently had I been the only one writing the bill. I'm sure my chairwoman would be able to say the same thing. But that's the nature of bipartisanship negotiations. Everyone has to give a little in order to get what each needs most. First and foremost, this bill strongly supports our national nuclear security programs, providing $20.7 billion, which is an increase of almost $1 billion above fiscal year 2021 and above the Biden administration's budget request. This funding supports the maintenance and modernization of our nuclear weapons complex and supports the Navy's nuclear propulsion program. Harbor Maintenance Trust Fund activities at the Corps of Engineers are funded at more than $2 billion in accordance with the Water Resources Development Act of 2020. Efforts to guard our energy sector against cyber attacks are increased above last year and even above both House and Senate bills. The bill continues investments in a wide array of energy sources, including fossil energy, hydropower, energy storage, and one of my highest priorities, nuclear energy. The bill provides $1.65 billion for nuclear energy, including increased funding for the Advanced Small Modular Reactor Program, continued support for the Advanced Reactors Demonstration Programs, and initiation of a new program to ensure a domestic supply of high-assay, low-enriched uranium that will be necessary for many of the advanced reactor design currently under development. Before I yield back, I'd like to note the hard work of our full committee leadership, my ranking member Kay Granger, as well as Chair DeLauro. Energy and Water Chairwoman Capter and I again worked well together with our Senate partners, Senator Feinstein and Senator Kennedy. Finally, I'd like to thank the staff on both sides of the aisle for their hard work to help bring this bill to completion. The majority staff, Jamie Shimmick, Scott McKee.
The gentlewoman from Texas reserves. The gentlewoman from Connecticut is recognized.
Speaker, I yield 2 minutes to the gentlewoman from Ohio, the chair of the Appropriations Subcommittee on Energy and Water, Ms. Capter.
The gentlewoman from Ohio is recognized for 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Please let me thank Chair DeLauro for your persevering leadership on this critical bill, and I'd like to thank Ranking Member Simpson for his productive partnership, as well as the Energy and Water Subcommittee staff and Majority Clerk Jamie Shimmick for their work. The Energy and Water Division of this bill is an historic investment in American jobs, in innovation and competitiveness. It engages and advances all energy technologies to assure America's energy independence in perpetuity and for our security while sustaining life on Earth. Our bill deserves and delivers for the American people by investing $8.3 billion in the Army Corps of Engineers to rebuild America's water infrastructure and prepare for increasing rainfall, rising sea levels, and desertification. $1.92 billion in the Bureau of Reclamation for the West's water management. $44.9 billion in the Department of Energy, including $3.2 billion for energy efficiency and renewable energy programs to spur good-paying jobs and lower costs for the middle class. Importantly, our bill responsibly funds our nuclear deterrent and enhances non-proliferation efforts. In sum, the Energy and Water Division builds forward for America's critical goals. Our bill invests in the hardworking men and women who make, build, and grow America. Now more than ever, our bill is needed to unleash American progress in this new century. And finally, as chair of the Congressional Ukraine Caucus, I want to highlight